Well, hello there, guys. Some very good recommendations came in, and I think what we're going to do here is we are going to start Strategic Command over again. We are playing as the Axis from the very beginning, but this time we are going to try and take this quite seriously. Not going to stray too far from the actual historical record. I might do a few things early, like attack Norway early, things like that. But I'm still not 100% sure. Now, one of the biggest mistakes we did last time was moving these troops out without getting garrison units in there first. So first thing I'm going to do is immediately get these special forces out there as quickly as I can. I'll bring over some crafts as well. And let's also get these units up from South Korea here. Or in this case, just Korea. Heading to the front lines, guys, to face the Chinese. I also want to go ahead and purchase some new units for our Japanese side, and we're really just going to get some garrison units so that we don't have to, or so that we can take a few of those other units out. I think that'll be useful. Let's get 2 garrison units for now. Let's get 3. We're going to eventually use all of them, but the amphibious transport is actually going to be quite costly to us. So that's one thing I'm not really looking forward to, but c'est la vie, my friends, c'est la vie. I am kind of thinking we could approach this in a somewhat different way than we did last time, which was terrible, let's face it. And maybe we could push through to Yanku, but I think I'm actually going to push through over here. So far, that doesn't look like it's going to be very effective. What about a bombing run here? Man, it's the Chinese defender is pretty tough to fight right now. And we really want to look for the honeypot here. I want to attack the right location. I think that guy might be it. First bombing campaign of the Second World War, my friends, just occurred right there. We could even send our fighters in if we want to be really silly about this, but I'm going to just send in the second wave of bombers. And we've got 2 very large armies here, guys. The 34th Army, as well as the 13th. Beautiful. Look at that. So already winning some pretty big victories. What I think I want to do is take this army, keep attacking the enemy. I even wouldn't mind bringing over the units, or the army here from Hangzhou. We are attacking across a river, so it's not going to be as effective as we'd like, but I think it's an okay start. As for the unit here in Hunan province, we also don't want to really risk him losing this pretty great position. So I might actually just wait, guys. I think destroying an enemy army is pretty damn useful, and this is definitely a war of attrition against the Chinese. We really need to just try and wither away their forces and still hold our positions. Now, last time we lost the positions over here near Hong Kong, so I'm immediately going to start putting up to Yan'an and trying to connect those locations there. I'm going to do the same over here, and we'll try and get our general out as well. What in the world is Okamura doing over here? I just don't understand it, guys. Can't even get him out of here right now. I think that might be enough for the Japanese front this turn. We should really call it the Manchurian front. And we need to go ahead and finish Poland off, guys. Of course, this time, if everything goes as planned, we will give Stalin what we've promised. We'll keep the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact up and going. First things first, I'll get into Danzig. Immediately commence with our Frontier Corps, not exactly the strongest unit in the world. And we can follow through with another attack here, completely finishing off the enemy unit at Turun. Oh, I thought we were going to be able to finish them off this turn. Nonetheless, next turn, in fact, we won't even wait till next turn. We'll just take them out so that we can get the rail yard there. Gets a lot of those supplies over to the enemy. So I'm getting even closer, guys. Pretty much just cutting off the Polish completely. We're doing most of the work here. Soviets aren't really going to be able to do much. I think we're pretty much going to take most of this, but of course, according to the treaty, it doesn't matter if we take more of the territory. We do have to give the Soviets their just due. And as much as I wish right now that that was lead, not right now, folks. We got to play nice. Jestova could easily be taken here. And I'll use that second attack to wipe out another unit. Our boys are going to need to train in their mopping up abilities here. Alright, guys, let's wipe out the cavalry unit there. Of course, the Polish don't have as much as they'd like. They're putting up a brave fight, but using cavalry units in a situation like this, not the greatest idea. That being said, the Germans and the Soviets did use cavalry quite a lot to carry their guns around. A lot more than we'd like to think. But in terms of actual attack, it's just not going to work, folks. Might actually give the Bernolat Corps here, guys, the Slovakian allies of ours, some glory. But actually, I think they'll be more useful cutting off some more enemy rail lines here. Let's finish off the enemy. And I'm going to push these guys through right here. The 10th Army is trying to seek glory, but they've already attacked this turn, so they're going to have to wait a bit. It looks like they've left Przemysl completely unguarded. And that's going to work out in our favor. I'm not even sure if I want to chase that army. I think I'm going straight for the Air Force here at Lublin. Alright, I'm happy with that. Now, with our Navy, I want to be a lot more careful with this than we were last time. I'm still going to use raiders, but I think I'm going to send them northwards. Oh boy, we've already got a British battleship. We might have to get into some fights up here. Oh, I don't think the British have yet declared war. So I'm just going to keep things really peaceful for now. I don't even want to mess around with them. Alright, we're going to attack the fortress at Modlin, north of Warsaw, guys. I'd like to just finish the war very quickly, but I'm guessing we're going to have to stomp that infantry unit right there, the Modlin army, before we can actually get through. I was hoping we could bypass them. Even our garrison units could do some work here. Why not? Oh, I thought they were going to manage to actually break through for once. That's too bad. Okay, guys, one step closer to victory, of course. Push right through with the tanks all the way to Warsaw, and of course, all of these enemy armies are cut off pretty much. Nonetheless, we still want to keep producing troops in Germany, especially because we want to try and get to France as soon as possible here. Or at least start setting up for it for the Netherlands, Belgium, and eventually France. Oh, maybe we can't purchase any units right now. We could probably get some corps, maybe some garrison troops. That's about all we can afford. So I think we're just going to hold off and wait for victory to roll in. Let me make sure I haven't completely forgotten to do something over here. I think we're just going to keep these units here until the garrison units arrive and not a second before. We do have a transport unit here with 17th Korean Army. So we can try to save Canton. This is an area we lost last time. But damn it, there's no port here. We're going to have to make it to a port here. Maybe we can drop off. Yes, beautiful. Alright, let's hope this is enough to save the south, guys. Because last time, of course, we got completely crushed in this area. Only leaving with the garrison unit to make sure that no partisans rise up in those undefended zones. And let's see if we can't hold Canton. Should we do any attacks? I don't know. I don't think it's looking very good. We could push our luck. But let's not do that. Alright, guys, we're going to end the turn. Here we go. That's our first turn. I hope it's a good first turn. Make sure to let me know down in the comments. And, of course, if you're happy about this, redoing the series, hit that like button, comment down below. Both really, really help, guys, get us up on the YouTube rankings. Lieutenant Kurt's 7th Flieger Division is partially formed and a trained unit of paratroopers. Despite its incompleteness, it could be used in the latter stages of the invasion of Poland or in the early attack on France. Or we could allow it to complete its training and formation, in which case it will deploy at full strength at Hamburg at the end of this year. Okay, would you like to deploy the understrength and only partially trained 7th Flieger at Breslau now? Before I always let them train, but I'm going to go ahead and actually deploy them right now. The sooner, the better. And we're going to have some German paratroopers there. I think I'd rather deploy it to Naples, honestly. Let's try not to worry about Ethiopia right now. There we go. Canada has declared war. I believe now the UK will declare war. It's interesting to see that Canada was the first to declare war on Germany. South Africa. And there we go. The UK has declared war. They'll start sending the BEF over very soon. I think the important thing is to try and get on that border as soon as possible with this massive army. All right, so Polish morale, of course, is suffering from that defeat, from all those military defeats. Yes, of course, we are going to be targeting surface raiders, but again, we're going to try to be a little bit more careful about it this time, guys. But now we're in open conflict with the British, so we can start targeting them in the open ocean and pretty much try and get some hits on their both their merchant convoys and their military convoys, too. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Okay, Chinese are reinforcing their position at Changsha. I definitely, this time, want to use these garrison troops to get rid of that partisan activity as soon as it crops up. Because the Chinese, they like their partisan activity. We can say that. They know exactly how to mess up our lines, mess up our supply lines, and completely destroy us with continuous support from the guys behind the lines. Oh boy, here we go. I knew we were going to be engaging some Brits, and it looks like they're going straight for our subs. I hope the sub can get away, because I'd like to save most of our subs here and only deploy our Navy later. That's it, son. You know what you're doing. Although I anticipate they're probably going to catch up to one of these submarines. If not, I might send them back to northern Germany and send some of our cruisers and our other ships out. Maybe have a battle here in the North Sea. It might be time for that. Okay, enemy submarine, sub contact right now. Might be time to bring our destroyers up. I'm not sure if it's too early in the war, though, for us to be engaging in naval battles with the Brits. It's obvious that the British have a much far superior navy to the Germans. But that being said, the Kriegsmarine are still something to be feared. There we go. They took Pakur. They're getting closer to Canton. We've got to get rid of this unit attacking Peking. They're going straight for the jugular. And I hope it's not too late to stop them. See if they'll reinforce that position at Changsha, guys. Okay, our men are holding on. All right, the Red Army begins crossing the border into Poland, and once again, Polish morale drops even more, as if it couldn't get any worse. So hopefully we can go ahead and take Warsaw this turn and really not worry about it too much. We saw there the Americans are also sending volunteers into China. That's specifically to train their Air Force, and they're actually able to knock down some Japanese Zeros once the Americans give them the proper training. But an enemy is an enemy nonetheless. I don't care if he's American, Chinese, or Polish. Alright, so it's important that we, of course, target this area. Has commissioned General von Horst to study a possible invasion and occupation of Denmark and Norway in April 1940. And if anybody knows, I believe this happens automatically. Last time we actually went to war with Denmark, but Norway capitulated automatically. So I'm not sure if that's something we want to keep in mind as we move forward here. Let's see, boys. Yeah, those partisans are something we got to deal with. I hate having to leave the front line, but we really don't have much of a choice. We'll use anything we can to take on the partisans there. But actually, my main concern is Poland right now. Let's deal with Poland first, and also let's deal with these submarines. So, wonder if we could get a hit on those subs. Yeah, I don't think subs can attack subs. I'm sure it's happened before, but what we want to do is get our destroyers forward. If we're going to go to war with the Brits, let's go to war with the Brits. Oh, boy. Nice. Wow. Excellent job there by the Z-20 destroyer. Let's bring in the cruiser. And this is actually a French ship here. The Terrible Destroyer. It's actually called the Terrible. So that's a fitting name for what's about to happen to it. There we go, guys. 175 national morale bonus. I think that's not too shabby. We're going to try to sneak this one by, but that's what I was worried about. Yeah, we need to get out of here. You can see the Brits have a lot of ships here. So I'm going to pull back and pretty much form the naval equivalent of a defense and sort of cut off Dogger Bank here from the enemy. All right, let's go, boys. 9, let's get it over with now, Poland. You know the inevitable is coming. They're holding on quite a lot there. Sending some bombers. Here we go. Warsaw is going to have to fall eventually here. I'll even send in fighters if I have to. That's how desperate I am to try to get this this turn. Completely shattered that unit. I think we'll be able to push the tanks in. But actually, in an urban environment, how well will our tanks do? Not sure. Do we have another strike here? Yes, we do. I'm telling you guys, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Even if it costs me a lot of men. But in this case, I don't think it did. And we can even keep on pushing to Modlin, which I think will be the last stronghold of the Polish here. I didn't want to have to move the army out of Danzig, but we got to do what we got to do here. And I have to say, the enemy's quite strong at Poznan, so I'm actually going to hit the cavalry brigade behind Poznan and try to cut them off again. Although, for all intents and purposes, they are completely cut off here. We should probably go ahead and let these Soviets take Lvov and start actually moving some of these forces to the west. Let's try that, guys. So pretty much what we're going to do is start setting up over there on the border of Belgium and the Netherlands. And I'm not sure how early you guys think we should actually begin that attack, but any suggestions are greatly appreciated down below. All right, let's get over to the Eastern Front, for lack of a better term. So we can already get our special forces out. Of course, it's going to take a while for them to get over there, but once they get there, I think they're going to be very useful. And Changsha remains open, guys. This is a great opportunity for us to push in here. See if we can't make our mark. Send in some bombers. Of course, it's a major industrial center for the Chinese, but the Chinese have a lot of major industrial centers. It's not going to be a huge loss to them, but it'll be a pretty big one. So close, guys. There we go. We've shattered it. Keep on pushing through. I'd like to get a unit to defend here at Wuhan, though. I don't like that they can push through. I'm actually almost tempted to put one of these air forces on the line, just in an effort to be sort of a blocking unit. I believe Canton's going to fall, but we are going to try to save it, guys. I don't think we should leave this area right now. We're going to have to pull back on this front, too, just to defend Peking. And again, this is why it's so tempting to immediately bring these units over. But if we bring them over now, that's going to look really weak to the Soviets. So we've got to wait for those garrison units to be created before we can even consider it. Although we've got some fresh troops here at Tokyo, prepared to serve the Emperor, so we'll get them over to the front as quickly as we can. Yeah, if I don't see any opportunistic attacks or we actually come out with a pretty good margin of victory, I'm not going for them. But we are getting pretty close to Changsha. It's 1,000 men a mile, but it's certainly worth it. Alright, guys, I think we're going to end episode 1 here. Of course, with this one, I would love to get your feedback. So if anybody has any tips, advice, thoughts, whatever, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, guys. And we're going to, of course, immediately begin preparations for the invasion of France. Hopefully this time we can get it over with pretty quickly. And we're also not going to mess around with Stalin. We're going to give him what he wants. Take our half, he takes his half, and hopefully we'll be fighting him later. Thanks a bunch, guys. Take care. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe if you're new to the channel.